Do you find yourself waking up once, twice, maybe even 3 times a night to use the bathroom? You might dismiss it as just another part of getting older, a simple annoyance. But what if I told you that each trip to the bathroom in the dark could be a sign that you are unknowingly damaging your kidneys while you sleep? It's a startling thought, I know. But here's the hard medical fact. For most people, after the age of 60, kidney function begins to decline by about 1% every single year. That might not sound like much, but over a decade, that's a 10% loss of function. Over to decades, it's 20%. This isn't a process you want to accelerate. Your kidneys are 2 of the most vital, yet underappreciated, organs in your body. They are the master filtration system, working 24/7 to clean about 200 quarts of blood each day, removing waste, balancing your body's fluids, and releasing hormones that regulate blood pressure. During the day, they are workhorses, but at night, they are supposed to enter a period of rest and repair. When we disrupt that crucial cycle with certain evening habits, we force them to work overtime, leading to strain, damage, and a faster decline in their function. I'm Dr. Robert Clark, and for over 3 decades, I've dedicated my practice to helping seniors navigate the complexities of aging with health and vitality. I've seen firsthand how simple, unconscious habits can lead to serious health consequences down the road. But the good news, and there is always good news, is that knowledge is power. Today, we are going to shine a light on the 5 hidden evening habits that are silently ruining your kidneys. This isn't about fear, it's about understanding and empowerment. By making a few simple adjustments to your nightly routine, you can protect these vital organs and ensure they serve you well for all the years to come. Let's fix this together. The first and perhaps most common habit we need to address is late-night eating. I see this all the time in my practice. After dinner, you settle in to watch a bit of television, and before you know it, you're reaching for a bowl of ice cream, a bag of chips, or maybe some leftover pizza. It feels harmless, a comfort at the end of a long day. But for your kidneys, this late-night meal is a declaration of overtime. Let me tell you about my patient, Margaret, a wonderful 68-year-old woman who came to me complaining of swollen ankles and persistent fatigue. She couldn't understand it. She was active and ate reasonably well, but as we dug into her daily routine, she sheepishly admitted her little indulgence, a bowl of instant noodles, or a couple of deli meat sandwiches right before bed. She thought it was helping her sleep. In reality, it was pushing her kidneys to the brink. Here's the science, simplified. Your body operates on a 24-hour internal clock, a circadian rhythm. During the day, your metabolism is high, and your organs are primed for digestion and waste processing. At night, the system is supposed to power down for maintenance. When you eat a heavy meal, especially one high in salt, protein, or phosphorus, you're essentially forcing your kidney's filtration plant to run a full-speed production line, when it should be closed for deep cleaning. That salty snack forces your body to retain water to dilute the sodium, increasing your blood volume and blood pressure overnight, a direct strain on your heart and kidneys. The protein from that deli meat breaks down into urea, a waste product that the kidneys must filter out. It's like dumping a fresh load of garbage at the processing plant right at closing time. The workers are tired, and the job gets done less efficiently, leaving behind waste products that can cause damage over time. Are you starting to see how a seemingly innocent snack can be a major burden? I want you to ask yourself tonight, is my evening comfort worth my kidneys' long-term health? The most important actionable tip I can give you is this: finish your last substantial meal at least 3 hours before you go to bed. This gives your digestive system and your kidneys ample time to process the food and begin their nightly rest cycle. If you absolutely must have something, make it a small, kidney-friendly snack like a handful of unsalted nuts, a few apple slices, or some berries. Avoid the processed, high-sodium culprits like chips, crackers, frozen dinners, and cured meats. Giving your kidneys this nightly break is one of the most profound gifts you can give to your future self. Let's move on to our second habit, one that is deeply ingrained in our culture as a way to unwind: having an alcoholic beverage before bed. For many, a glass of wine with dinner or a nightcap of brandy is a cherished ritual. It feels sophisticated, relaxing. But when it comes to your kidneys, that evening drink is a double-edged sword. It creates a perfect storm of dehydration and hormonal disruption. That puts immense stress on your renal system. I remember a patient, Arthur, a retired history professor in his early 70s. He came to me with stubbornly high blood pressure that wasn't responding well to medication. He was also waking up 3 to 4 times a night to urinate. He was convinced it was just his prostate, a common assumption for men his age. But when we looked at his habits, we discovered his nightly ritual of 2 glasses of red wine to, as he put it, help him drift off. The problem is, while alcohol may make you feel sleepy initially, it severely disrupts your sleep quality and wages a silent war on your kidneys. Here's what's happening in your body. Your brain produces a crucial hormone called antidiuretic hormone, or ADH. You can think of ADH as the body's water conservation manager. At night, your brain naturally releases more ADH to signal your kidneys to reabsorb more water back into the body, producing less, more concentrated urine so you can sleep uninterrupted for 6 to 8 hours. Alcohol is a powerful ADH suppressor. It essentially tells your brain's command center to shut down the water conservation manager. Without ADH on duty, your kidneys don't get the message to save water. Instead, they go into overdrive, flushing water out of your system at an accelerated rate. This is why you have to urinate so frequently when you drink. This process leads to significant dehydration overnight, which forces your kidneys to work much harder to filter waste products from a thicker, more concentrated blood volume. It's like trying to run a filter with sludge instead of water. For seniors, this effect is magnified. Our bodies naturally hold less water as we age, and our sense of thirst diminishes. So we are already more susceptible to dehydration. Adding alcohol to the mix is like pouring gasoline on a fire. The actionable tip here is clear. The best choice is to swap your evening wine, beer, or spirit for a calming, hydrating beverage like chamomile tea, peppermint tea, or even just a glass of water. If you do choose to have a drink, please do so with intention and awareness. Finish it at least for hours before you plan to go to sleep. This gives your body time to metabolize the alcohol and for your ADH levels to begin to normalize. Before you enter that critical rest period, ask yourself, is this nightly ritual truly serving my health, or is it silently stealing it? Now we arrive at a habit born from the very problem we're trying to solve, creating a vicious cycle. This is the third habit, deliberately dehydrating yourself in the evening. This is what I call the dehydration paradox. So many of my patients, terrified of another night of broken sleep from frequent bathroom trips, start restricting all fluids after 5 or 6 p.m. It seems logical, doesn't it? If you don't put any water in, no water will have to come out. But this strategy, while well-intentioned, is one of the most damaging things you can do to your kidneys. Your kidneys thrive on water. They depend on a steady flow of fluid to do their job of filtering toxins and waste from your blood effectively. When you intentionally dehydrate yourself for 8 to 10 hours overnight, you are forcing them to work under the worst possible conditions. The urine becomes highly concentrated, full of waste products like urea, creatinine, and minerals. This thick, concentrated fluid is abrasive to the delicate structures of the kidney, including the tiny filtering units called nephrons. Over time, this can lead to the formation of painful kidney stones and increase your risk for chronic kidney disease. Let me tell you about Maria, a 72-year-old patient who was incredibly disciplined. She told me proudly that she never drank a drop of anything after 4 p.m. Yet, she was plagued by recurrent urinary tract infections and had just been diagnosed with an early SDA, kidney stone. She was doing everything she thought was right, but her solution was actually the cause of her problems. Chronic dehydration was allowing bacteria to flourish in her bladder and minerals to crystallize in her kidneys. The key is not to avoid water, but to manage its timing. The actionable strategy is to front-load your fluids. Think of your hydration like your daily budget. You want to spend most of it in the morning and afternoon. Start your day with a large glass or 2 of water. Have water with your breakfast and lunch. Keep a water bottle with you and sip steadily until the late afternoon. By 6 p.m., you should have consumed the majority of your daily fluid needs. After that, you can switch to gentle sipping. A small cup of herbal tea or small sips of water in the evening is perfectly fine and won't overwhelm your bladder. A very simple and effective way to monitor your hydration is the urine color test. Your goal is to have urine that is a pale, light yellow color by the time you go to bed. If it's dark yellow or amber, you are dehydrated. If it's completely clear like water, you might be overhydrating. Aim for that pale straw color. It's your body's built-in hydration gauge. Don't fall into the dehydration trap. Hydrate smartly, not sparingly. Your kidneys will thank you for it. The fourth evening habit is one that almost no one considers in relation to their kidney health. Your sleep position. We spend roughly a third of our lives asleep, yet we give little thought to how our posture during those hours affects our internal organs. The connection between sleep position, circulation, and kidney function is a fascinating and critical piece of the puzzle, especially for older adults. When you lie flat on your back for an extended period, gravity affects your body's fluid dynamics. More blood that was pooled in your legs during the day returns to your chest and heart. This increases the total volume of blood circulating through your core system. Your heart responds by signaling the kidneys to get rid of this excess fluid to reduce the pressure, a process which increases urine production overnight. For someone with a perfectly healthy cardiovascular and renal system, this is manageable. But for anyone with even mild heart failure or pre-existing kidney issues, this nightly fluid shift can be overwhelming, forcing already strained kidneys to work much harder. Furthermore, there is a powerful and often missed connection to sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is a condition where your breathing repeatedly stops and starts during sleep. Snoring is a major red flag for this. Each time you stop breathing, the oxygen level in your blood, or $O_$ saturation, plummets. This creates a state called intermittent hypoxia, which is incredibly damaging. It triggers a cascade of inflammation and oxidative stress throughout the body, and the kidneys, with their dense network of tiny blood vessels, are particularly vulnerable to this type of damage. Think of it as repeatedly starving your kidney cells of the oxygen they need to survive and function. I had a patient, David, a 65-year-old man whose wife insisted he come see me about his snoring. He dismissed it as just a loud noise, but his lab work showed a steady decline in his kidney function that we couldn't otherwise explain. We sent him for a sleep study, and sure enough, he had severe obstructive sleep apnea. Once he started treatment with a CPAP machine, which keeps the airway open. The results were astounding. His nighttime urination decreased dramatically, his blood pressure improved, and most importantly, the decline in his kidney function stabilized. We caught it just in time. So what are the actionable steps? First, experiment with your sleep position. Sleeping on your left side is often recommended as it can help reduce pressure on the vena cava, the large vein that returns blood to the heart, potentially improving circulation. Second, if you have swelling in your legs or ankles, try elevating your legs slightly with a pillow. This can help reduce the amount of fluid that rushes back to your core when you lie down. Finally, and most critically, if you snore, feel tired despite a full night's sleep, or have been told you gasp or stop breathing at night, please take it seriously. It is not just a nuisance. It is a major medical warning sign. Talk to your doctor about getting screened for sleep apnea. Treating it could not only save your kidneys, but also your life. Now, I want to introduce a crucial fifth habit that quietly contributes to kidney damage, especially in the evening hours. It's the routine, almost automatic, act of reaching for over-the-counter painkillers to manage chronic aches and pains before bed. Many of my senior patients suffer from arthritis, back pain, or general stiffness, and their go-to solution is a couple of pills from the bottle of NSAIDs. That stands for non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs in their medicine cabinet. This includes common names like ibuprofen and naproxen. They take them to dull the pain so they can get a good night's sleep, completely unaware of the potential harm they're inflicting on their kidneys. Let me share Susan's story. Susan was a vibrant 70-year-old who loved gardening, but was slowed by painful osteoarthritis in her knees. To manage the pain, she fell into a nightly habit of taking two extra-strength ibuprofen pills. It worked wonders for her knees, and she slept soundly. But over the course of a year, she started feeling unusually tired and nauseous. When we ran her blood work, we were shocked to find she had developed acute kidney injury. Her nightly pain relief ritual was the culprit. Here's the mechanism of damage. NSAIDs work by blocking enzymes that cause inflammation and pain. But these same enzymes also play a vital role in protecting your kidneys. They help keep the tiny blood vessels that supply the kidneys dilated or open, ensuring a rich supply of blood and oxygen. When you take an NSAID, it can cause these vessels to constrict. This reduces blood flow to the kidneys, essentially starving them of the oxygen and nutrients they need to function. Now, imagine combining this effect with the other habits we've discussed. If you take an NSAID and you're also dehydrated from limiting your evening fluids or drinking alcohol, the effect is dangerously amplified. The reduced blood flow combined with thick, concentrated blood puts an extreme level of stress on the kidney's filtering units. For someone with existing high blood pressure, diabetes, or even mild, undiagnosed kidney insufficiency, this can be the tipping point that pushes them from stable chronic disease into acute kidney failure. This isn't to say you must live in pain, but it is a call for caution and conversation. The actionable step here is to have an honest discussion with your doctor about your pain management strategy. Never assume that because something is sold over the counter, it is harmless, especially for long-term use. Ask about safer alternatives for chronic pain, such as acetaminophen in appropriate doses, physical therapy, heat, cold therapy, or other prescription medications that are less harmful to the kidneys. And always follow the dosage instructions on the label. Never think that if 2 pills are good, 3 must be better. Your kidneys are counting on you to be their advocate.